So unfortunately, it seems like my gameplay died, so they're gonna have to stare at this, but at least we still get to talk to the man, the guy who plays Kollector, also the person who knocked me out of the last tournament that he was in, Vax.
Hello.
So, if you guys don't know who Bax is, he's a noob and a collector player. I like a lot of players do not know that much about collector, to be honest with you. So I figured I would talk to you about collector and a little bit about noob, just because I've been interested in noob myself, just because I think he's a strong character, especially in MK11 Ultimate. Um, so we just want to talk a little bit about Collector Noob and what we think about the meta and do a little bit discussion and maybe even hit the lab. I mean, it's entirely up to Bax. He doesn't have to give away any of his tech, but if he's willing to talk about any of it, that would be awesome. Um, so last time we kind of talked on last time I talked on this podcast, unfortunately, it felt a little bit more interviewy and less discussion. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about the meta. Feel free to give your opinions on MK11, not just the meta itself, but what you think about the game and the game overall, like the changes between the patch and things like that. I do have some questions today, but I'm gonna try to keep the questions a little bit more limited. Last time it felt like I was playing 20 questions with Alex, so I want to have a more kind of back and forth talk. So if you ever feel like interrupting or there's something you want to say about the game or your character, please feel free to say it. I will start off with a question just so we can kind of, get the feel for everything. But um, like I said, yeah, feel free to anything you have to say. It'd be awesome. And if we get anyone in the chat that has any questions too, we can talk back and forth with them. So I'll just straight up say it. I barely know anything about Collector. I know like two things. One of them that I know is that he has a lot of unbreakable combos. From what I understand, like a lot of his combos leave you standing. They don't launch you. Is that correct? Or am I barking down the wrong tree here?
A lot of his standing combos.
Yeah, a lot of his combos like because Katana the problem that Katana I always relate it to Katana because that's my main. But some of the characters in this game, it seems like they have to play the breakaway game. That's what a lot of pro players call it, like the breakaway game, where
Hmm.
when you launch them, if they break at a certain combo, you get punished basically. Like she's infamous for this. If I do like 1-2 lift or like even anti-airs, I was practicing anti-airs before this podcast. And if I do like a stand one anti-air, right, and then I try to do 1-2 lift, if you break in between that 1-2, you get a full combo punish because the recovery on the lift is like 20 something frames. It's like really, really high. So your opponent can just get up and punish you, right? And so what I've heard about Collector, and I might be barking down the wrong tree here, but I've heard like he has like standing combos, so it's like harder to deal with. Like you don't have to deal with breakaway nearly as much, from
Yeah,
what I hear.
that's absolutely true. Collector is one of the characters who has like some of the highest unbreakable damage in the game. You hit him with like forward 1-2 bola, then you do jump 2 forward 4, and then your ender just like down back 3. That's like almost 30% unbreakable. You can do like the launcher, the 443, and then just fatal blow, and that's like 40%, whether
Okay.
they break or not. But like, yeah, collector, he has like some of the strongest unbreakable damage in the game for sure.
Okay, okay. So that is true. Okay. Um, in that particular case, well, the other thing I've heard too is his mid command grab, right? Because he's got a
Yeah,
mid. Yeah, so you have to. It's kind of weird though. Like I feel it's. I don't know. Sometimes like I feel like NRS or not NRS, like the NRS community, um, like they complain about command grabs like being mids, but I've heard like a lot of other fighting games have those. I mean, I haven't played any other ones. I don't know if you have, but like that's what I've heard. So I know like it's a really powerful tool, but like at the end of the day, to me it kind of feels like a 50-50. Like you have overhead and low, and then you have strike and throw, right?
Hmm.
And it's in the same way, like you either read that they're going to strike you, and if you read that they're going to strike you, you might get the punish, or you read the mid command grab, and if you read the mid command grab, you get a punish. So it's like almost like the same thing as like overhead and low to me. So I don't quite understand. Like I understand like command grabs are still powerful because they allow you. That's another offensive arsenal in your toolkit. But I don't know. Like I just feel like sometimes people get a little bit too crazy about it. I don't know if it's because of the ticks or. Oh, thank you for the host, Princess Pearl. Really appreciate it. But I mean, does I actually don't know this. Does Collector get he gets ticks right off of
He
his command grab?
gets ticks off of, I think, only his down one and his down three, but you have to be like smashed right up against him.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, he
So
doesn't have any of the ticks like Code or Gearus.
okay, so he's basically like oh man, so he's like the DLC basically because the DLC got the same treatment, which
Yeah,
I don't I don't know what my opinion is on that honestly. What is your opinion? What would you say? Do you think characters should get more ticks or
I think Collector's command grab is fine where it is right now. A 10
okay.
frame, a 10. Okay, let's take a step back. A 10 frame mid command grab that does 13%. Like, what? That's so
Yeah, that's
insane.
true.
So,
That's
like,
true.
yeah, every time you put him in knockdown, it's just guess for your life. Guess or you take another 13, or if you try to jump, you eat a full combo. I think it's fine where it is. And it has the crushing blow if they decide to roll.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's just like Molina's. It's
Yeah.
just like Molina's. Okay. Yeah, I play Molina, so I guess I'm a little biased with the command grab stuff, but okay. That's awesome then. I didn't know it was 13% though. I've never even noticed. Just started? Yes, I did just start it. Want to hear Back's take on Collector? Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now, Alex. Talking about
Oh,
back
Alex here, let's
Collector.
go.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have any questions, Alex, feel free to leave them in the chat, and I'll relay them to Bax if he's not in the Twitch chat,
I'm
or
gonna
you can see
open
it.
up a Twitch chat.
Oh, if you want to, you can. Here, let me go ahead and get it for you really quick. Why Collector? Why did he choose Collector? Is
Yep,
that
I
what
got
you're
it
asking?
right here.
Oh, did you find it, Bax? Or do you need me to send it to you?
Yep. Why did I choose collector? No, I got it open.
Okay, perfect. His tools is
I'll take Alex's question though. Like, why did I choose collector? Because he looks sick, Alex, dude. I played him since day one. I got the first match I ever played online. It was Collector versus Scarlet, and I got destroyed
Oh,
because the
okay.
Scarlet was just doing forward two, and I was like, how do I beat this?
Oh, you didn't know it was minus 12?
I had no idea. I didn't know how to play Collector either. I was like trying to do uh like forward two on Collector, like the big mace. I didn't understand like how like stupid good standing four was, where you could
Yeah.
just like disjointed throw out like this hitbox.
Let's go
So yeah,
ahead, because I mean, I might as well. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and launch MK, so when we talk about it, I can, I'll just leave it open, but if we talk about it, I can like maybe display the move or something like that. But yeah, I guess because it seems like Alex, the other thing he's saying is like collect. I'm assuming you mean like how they look, right, Alex? Like I don't know, like their character, not necessarily their play style, but you're saying like he's so ugly as their character, right? Because sometimes text gets a little confusing. Yeah, it's physical appearance. There you go. That's what. Why did it take me so long to figure that out? Yeah, skin suck. Oh man. Yeah, I actually have a question. I kind of have that same question for you, Bax. Like, um, what drew you to? Did it draw you? Did you have any uh affinity for his appearance at all, or was it just his play style? Because I feel like
no,
that's a
I think it was.
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I actually prefer you to talk about it. So Oh,
in
hello.
like the
Oh,
trailers for MK11. He looked
oh, okay.
sick, so I was like, oh, there's a dude with 6 arms. He's why not play this
Oh, okay.
guy? But then like when I did start to figure the character out, and I was like, oh, I enjoy this play
Oops, I think you might be.
chain. I like command grabs. I like playing the mix-up game, so it kind of worked out.
Okay. Sorry, I missed a little bit of that. So you were saying you saw him from MK, or you saw him from the trailer, correct? And then what did you
Yeah,
say after
like all
that?
the uh, I don't know. I think I just said I said a few things, but like no, he just yeah. I thought he looked super cool. It's a dude with 6 arms. His skin is blue. He wears like a vest hoodie. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
he's sick.
Everything about his that aren't his tools and animations is lacking. His story kind of lacks. What was I'm trying to remember. What was okay, so Collector's story wasn't he like he was about to be executed, right? For like committing some sort of like violating some sort of law in Outworld, if I remember correctly in the story.
I couldn't tell you, dude. I don't really pay attention to the story.
Oh, I don't blame you, dude. And MK has always been known for their B movie like story, so that doesn't really surprise me, um, personally. Just because I mean, there's only a few stories that I like about certain characters, like Katana's story. I don't really care about. Um, I like Scarlet's. I like the fact that she's an orphan. That's pretty cool, and she's given blood magic as like a second chance. I like Scorpion. I mean, I like his story. Sorry. Um, I know a
Good
lot
to
of people don't like
differentiate
him,
there.
but
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I know everything. I know all about Jackie getting it on with the kid. Oh my gosh,
Alex,
Alex,
please,
man.
Alex.
Takeda was badass though. I don't know if you watched the comics or read the comics. I watched the comics through Uncaged Games, but his story was very badass in the comics. So I'm hoping we see some more of Takeda, but I don't know. Like the combat kids have had mixed results, to say the least. So I don't know if we're gonna see all of them again, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
I think it was like cool that they put Jackie in 11. Well, actually, I take that back. I would love to see Jackie removed from the game.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm like so fed up with being forward 1-2 and then take the air shrapnel and then do it all again. But like as a character, I think it's cool. Uh, like I'm also kind of happy that Takeda's not in 11 because I'm just also so jaded from X, where he would just do like the
Oh,
mids and then cancel on you, or do like the mid overhead, and
oh
it's just
yeah,
like
and then
yeah, back to back to back.
the was it the shurikens that he threw down? I think it was, or
Mm-hmm.
ninja stars like he would throw down to gain plus frames.
Yep, you could do like hard to blockables with those on jump kicks.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't miss that. It's more like the character. I definitely don't miss that play style. Okay, so let's catch up on the chat real quick. So, I was saying I hope they bring Takeda back to MK11. Sad face. I'm assuming that's Jackie. Just anti-air. Alex, I literally have to air you as Katana. Get out of here. My down three whiffs and you just whiff punish me. So, Collector, in my opinion, has good tools to combat Jackie, especially with customs. Armor break, lantern, and command grab is amazing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Jackie is just one of those characters that it's not necessarily that we don't have tools to counter her. It's just we're forced to play her playstyle, and I think that's what, or we're forced to play her game plan. And I think that's what players are kind of tired of. Um, like having to deal with like not being able to combat, not being able to zone her. That's one thing. Like you just straight up can't zone her. Like Katana, half of Katana's tools they disappear. Um, but at the same time, like trust me, like I I understand like the bond that people have with their characters. So like I want to find a middle ground. Like if I feel like if like a community is trying to destroy a character, right? Like I want the player to still be able to play their character, but like if there's like a problem or like a bunch of people have agreed including pros, that this particular playstyle has to be toned down. It should be toned down, but like other players that were playing that character should still have the chance to play that character, which is actually surprising because this is the first MK game, and I'll keep saying this, where characters have not been nerfed. Like I don't think what Garrus I think is the only one. If I
Yeah,
mean,
Gears got nerfed shortly after. It was like first or second patch. Yeah.
and he's still good. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
seems like they're not taking like the MKX style of approach to like nerfs and buffs where they like dramatically change the character. Everyone like has pretty much their base tools. Like a lot of their frame data is pretty unchanged. I will say Kano though, he got like his forward 1-1-2 back 2.
Yeah.
That string. Kano's a problem this patch.
Yeah, yeah. Well, some and the other scary thing is too is like some characters that were already decent are just really really good now. Excuse me. Really really good now. Or you can even look at characters that like they had like a huge problem, but like now one move has made them really like fix that issue. Like I would say Shiva is definitely on that list. Like now
Oh
she could
yeah.
do forward one. Was it forward one Shokan, the fire stance, which is like her mid basically. It's a 10 frame mid, or I think 10 frames. I might be wrong
Yeah.
there.
That stance is something else. Like comboing meterless fireballs that do like 18% when you hit one. That's kind
Yeah,
of nuts.
yeah, it's crazy. I need to check up on her myself. I played Shiva before the patch, but now with the huge change, I haven't had time to go into the lab with her. Cetrion is stronger in the current meta than Jackie. I would say that, but I would say I don't know. I was gonna say that you don't have to play Cetrion as well as you don't have to play Cetrion's game as much as you have to play Jackie's, but that's not true. With the wind move, that's definitely not true. That's what I would say. I would say before you didn't really have to play Cetrion's game because you could read the rock wall, but now with the tornado, you don't have to read. You don't have. I mean, you don't have that option as much to read her neutral resetting tool, I guess it would be called. Yeah, you have to play her neutral depending on which. Yeah, I would say if they nerfed her teleport, maybe. Um, I'm not a pro player, so I'm not saying that they should, but I'm just saying if I had my way, I think like nerfing the teleport would probably be the best option because then when
Yeah.
she zoned you, yeah, Telly take 2 slots. Telly
I
and
don't know
win
if
two
Telly
slots.
should take two. So I think they should just change like the recovery on it. It recovers so fast that even if you're like watching for it, it's hard to punish.
Yeah, well, there's something that's kind of funny about this. Actually, you know what? Just give me a second, Bax. I'm gonna try to enter I'm gonna try to start the game again. When I started it, you cut out. So let's just test this and see if it's gonna work. Because I actually want to show something, um, because you kind of bring up a really good point about Cetrion. Nerf active time of Rockwall. Meh, Rockwall is fine in my opinion. Yeah, I think Rockwall is fine. Just because there's a counter to it, but his box is fatter than visual. So what would you say, Bax? What would you say Kollector does against Cetra, or would you choose Noob in that matchup?
I I think this is an interesting question because I played a lot of it from both ends of the matchup. Like I played a bunch of Noob against it. I played a bunch of Collector against it, but like I think Noob is better. Uh, how do I word this? Noob is much better of a counter zoner because he like after especially after customs came out, he can do air teleport on reaction to ground slam. He can do it jumping over boulders, and he can amp it and get like 35%. But at the same time, I think if you just want to walk them down and make them guess, Collector's a lot better for that.
Okay.
Uh, if you have the patience for it.
You have to have patience with Kollector though. That's yeah.
Yeah. But I
What
think
about
if
his
if I was
teleport?
trying to
Oh,
win in a
sorry.
tournament set, I would definitely pick Noob.
Okay. Okay. Is it because it's because of the mobility for Noob? That's what you would probably say. Is that kind of well? Sorry, that's not the right way to put it because Noob doesn't actually move very well, but like the tools that he has to deal with Cetrion, I guess is a better way of putting it. Is that
Yeah,
what you
if
were
you
saying?
have the variation I like to use, I have like two main ones for Noob. I have one with the fast fireball, the slide, and the amp telly, and then the other one I have is air telly with amp telly and slide. And so you get either like the mid range where you can control and you don't have to react to their zoning, getting that extra fireball pressure, or like the space control with that, or you have like the anti zoning with the air telly.
Okay. Okay. And then that's how you get in on Cetrion.
Yeah, you can just walk her down relatively easily too, because yeah, she's your threat as Noob is like just run and jump and wait and be patient and react to whatever, like they're trying to boulder, they're trying to ground slam. You just wait, telly in, and once you condition them, excuse me, once you condition them like not to throw those, you can just walk her down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Alex is saying Noob with Air Telly beats Cetrion. Does well.
Does
Okay.
well, yeah. Alex is getting wild in this chat, saying Noob is beating Cetrion. Okay, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, cause actually I really like a Noob. There's quite a few reasons why I like him. I mean, I think the big one is the anti-airs. I oh man, if you catch me on a stream, you'll always hear me complaining about anti-airs because I just oh man, that just frustrates me sometimes in this game. But the thing is, I always know that Noob with I think his down back four and then his down four, right? Those are like the ones that lower his hitbox, if I remember correctly. So if someone
Mm-hmm.
jumps on you, you'll be able to hit them with that. And if I remember correctly, the special move is eight it's 8 frames, right? So technically you can do it on reaction. Technically. Now
Yes, you
the
can
input's a
definitely
different
react to
story.
like almost every aerial and do down back four.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a huge one that um that draws me to Noob usually. Um, but I've never actually, I guess, spent the time to learn him, which is it is what it is, I guess. Ops Noob confirmed podcast 3. I never said I was playing Noob. I just said I've dabbled in Noob, and I like the fact that he can deal with aerial moves. Which is unfortunate. I mean, Katana was known for being able to anti-air you with her fans, but they just kind of changed that. They went a different route. So having a character that can just have a reliable anti-air is just, I think it's an awesome thing. And Noob has that, and that's something I've always liked about him. What would you
Yeah.
say was the big thing for you with Noob though? Like, because that's my selling point for him is just simply he has anti-airs and he has decent space control.
Um. Well, it's kind of like Kollector. Like I picked him up because he just kind of looked cool. He's like the dark, edgy shadow guy. But no, I really like
Play
the
heavy
play
metal
style.
music every single time you hit him on the
Yeah,
character select.
definitely listen to like Black Sabbath or like something heavier like Slayer or something every time I play new. No, but like I really like the spacing play style. I think that's like one of my stronger gameplay points is my spacing and like my neutral.
Okay.
So I like just playing that game, and Noob is like one of the best characters in the game at doing it. With tools like forward 2-2, with like back three, with slide, with the fireball,
Yeah.
with like the auto shimmy. Like
Oh, two one
it's
two.
yeah, 2-2. Uh, I just I think I've gravitated towards that play style more, and it's just yeah, it's really fun.
Hey, what's up,
I
Big
like
Van
it.
God? He's
Hey, there
same
he
backs.
is.
Yeah, we were just talking about Noob, Big Brain God. I think you play Noob too. A little bit of Noob Saibot. Big Brain, or we were talking about Noob, and then before we were talking about Collector and how Noob is broken. Yes, indeed. Noob is very good. I wouldn't say he's broken. I think okay. Well, there's one complaint I have about Noob as someone who plays against Noob, and it's I do wish they would kind of fix some of his hitboxes because some of his moves, the way that he leans back, prevents you from getting the punish when he's negative. But that's about the only kind of big issue I've ever had with Noob. I would say just kind of hitbox issues. It's kind of like you know how like when Jackie goes for a throw, and if you try to down to her, your down two will whiff and she'll full combo punish you, even though you're trying to get a
Yeah,
down two
yeah.
crushing blow. That's kind of how it is with me and Noob sometimes. Like some of the moves that he does, because of how the clone makes him lean back, it prevents me from getting the punish. Yeah, that's annoying. Yeah, I do wish they would fix that, but I would say that's probably my only big issue with Noob. Now I've been seeing that he's been getting high damage. We're not gonna talk about that, so he won't get nerfed. But that would be like my biggest thing, and maybe it's Fatal Blow. But I don't know. At this point, I've kind of accepted that full screen Fatal Blows are just what they are, or whatever. I don't know. I've advocated for like putting him to like 250 or something, like 25%, but I don't know what route NRS wants to take characters, so I just kind of, you know, fatal blows, the universal stuff. I kind of just whatever. I don't bother with it anymore. But yeah, I think Noob is really strong, and I mean clearly you think Noob is really strong. But let's go back to Collector just really quick. I did have just one question for you with Collector before we kind of just went on a tangent. Oh yeah, because this was the collector. Where do you put him on the tier list? Because again, like not many people play collector. Like it's crazy. Like no one. I only know you, and then I think there's one more. Is it J or OJ or AJ? I forgot how to say his
AJ,
name.
maybe?
Yeah, or AJ. Yeah, AJ. He plays collector too, correct? If I'm remembering
I'm not
correctly.
sure. I don't know if I've seen AJ play collector.
I might be.
Actually, yeah, I think he might. Yeah.
But those are like the only two people that I know of that play collector, and I don't think I've ever seen any pro play. I can't think of any off the top of my head pro players that play collector.
Collector's seen a little bit of pro play in like major tournaments, like pre-COVID days. I know Sonic played him at
Biohazard.
I want
Oh,
to
forgot
say
about
NEC.
Biohazard.
Yeah, Biohazard's played him in online tournaments. Deadly Rebel been playing. What is it? The one with like the projectiles, uh, spare change. So
Okay, okay.
he's definitely not as popular as a lot of the other characters. As far as like put him on a tier list, it's it's he's very like jack of all trades. I feel like he doesn't have like super terrible matchups across the board, but his lack of really good matchups, I think, is what makes him like a solid mid
Oh, so
tier,
he's lost in
like edging into
MK11.
high tier. Yeah,
Yeah, he's lost in
he's
MK11.
yeah he doesn't have like any super crazy game breaking stuff that like any of the super top tiers have, but he's definitely not bad. I see a lot of collector downplay, and I don't buy it, dude. 10 frame command grab makes you guess for your life. Like giant, just disjointed hitbox. Like he's not bad. I think he's definitely a solid mid tier
Okay.
at worst.
You'd probably place Noob higher, huh? Just
one Hundred
because he
percent. I
has.
think Noob is, especially after the newest patch. I think he's very high tier, if not like top five.
Okay.
I think he's definitely top 10 free. There, you might be able to make an argument for him being top five. I think.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, he actually has some of the better customs too. Like he's got a lot of options in his customs when I was going through. Um, Collector, I don't know as much, unfortunately. I I'm gonna have to spend a day on Collector, man. Like I I don't know too much about him. I mean, I actually forgot about Biohazard. I'm glad you mentioned that, Nexus. I need to watch that guy more. I always keep forgetting about him because he plays a lot of characters that I don't dabble in as much in. So that's definitely something I need to pay attention. His grabs are like magnets. That's what Alex Nasty says.
Alex, when we play, I make those look like magnets, dude. My spacing is perfect.
Yeah, yeah. Having powerful grabs in this game, that's another really important. Like the fact that he has, I didn't, wow, 13%. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that it was that high. It's a throw. It's like a legit throw. Wow. It's an untechable legit throw. Does it
Yeah,
give you
the
Oki? Hold on.
it yes, you're plus 14 off the command grab on collector. You can loop it, but like some of the timing, especially with like the wake up changes, uh, you can definitely get baited and
Oh,
then get
okay.
full combo punished. But it's definitely like still a guessing game for them.
Okay, okay. Yeah, 'cause distance plus 14 is actually okay. It's just the distance dependence would be the big thing with plus
Yeah,
14.
you do get time to dash up
Okay.
and do the command throw. You do have time, yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, because Shiva has that with her. I always use Shiva as an example because she has that with her. She can still jail her, or not jail, she can still frame trap with her down three on Oki or a throw. So, like, actually, we'll go back to Katana and Cetrion because I wanted to show you. You were saying how Cetrion, her teleport recovers quickly. So I was actually going to talk about that, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, Shiva, she can loop her back throw with down three, or if I remember correctly, I'll go ahead and grab Collector really quick. Um, down three or another back throw. So she'll get, if she walks up, does a down three, she'll be plus 15. Um, and then she can loop you again with the throw, or she could throw you with the back throw. So you have to tech the back throw, if I remember correctly. So I guess the whole reason I'm mentioning this is that some characters still do get that loop, even though like the throws are. I think Shiva's throw is only plus 15, like you were saying. Collectors is plus 14 or something like that. So yeah, it's definitely still a thing. It's just a little unfortunate, like with the wake up changes. Like a lot of people lost their Oki power, but I don't know. That's just the thing I guess they decided on. So
Yeah, I know a lot of people are kind of like iffy on the whole defensive offensive thing, as opposed to just like the old fashioned like the MKX 3 bars like of universal meter.
yeah,
But I think it's definitely a healthier change for the game that they put in like stronger defensive options on wake up. So you're not just and like on parry too on like flawless block. Uh,
oh yeah, yeah. I'm really excited about that, by the way. The flawless block addition.
yeah, flawless block. I and like all the defensive options. I think it's much healthier for the game, allowing like more counterplay on defense. Because like in MKX, it just felt like against certain characters, you just get mixed. You get put in a corner versus Dragonfire, Liu Kang. You're holding block for like a solid 10 seconds. You're
Yeah.
basically playing Dragon Ball Fighters at that point.
Yeah, unless you were Mystic Urbac.
Yeah, yeah, true.
I say that because I used to play him. That's why I would literally use that to get off the ground because it was -6, the push. But yeah, yeah, it was crazy though. Like some characters, they would just mix you, and I mean, you had to pray that you got off the ground.
Yeah,
It
or if
was
you're like
really
in the
bad.
corner versus Sorcerer Quan Chi and he puts the armor portal down,
Oh my
game over,
gosh.
buddy. Just go next. You gotta guess for 10 seconds straight.
Or Sub-Zero's ice clone.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Oh man. Oh, you bring it back. Oh man, I'm getting headaches just thinking about it. How like, uh,
The good old days.
well, so you say, so you would say you like the wake up system. Is there anything you would change with the wake up system then? Because I like it,
I
but there's a few things. Okay, sorry. Let me let me put it this way. I don't want to be full combo punished by the wake up system. That's probably the best way I should put it, if that makes any sense.
uh yes, I think I'm understanding what you mean. Uh d- Getting rolled in on and whiffing a string and then getting full combo punished and put back in the corner definitely feels really really bad. But like uh my issue with, I know they just like changed uh get up and delayed get up. I
Yeah.
think they should definitely like change the animation on that so you can meaty easier. I feel like a lot of characters struggle to meaty in this game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would agree with that for sure. I also think it might have to do with because they reduced 4 frames of wake up time off of your knockdowns.
Yeah, you stand up way faster now.
Yeah, I think they should go. I honestly think they should revert back because I think that's another reason why we get like delay wake up down one or excuse me, down one and as soon as you go for your meaty and you don't time your meaty correctly. Because something I was checking with Melina was if I don't time my back one exactly at the right time, they can actually down one as the last hit of my back one comes out. And I think the reason why that is because you can't time it earlier. Because if you time it too early, wait, am I doing that? Or am I saying that? No, if you time it too late, sorry, if you time it too late, they'll wake up and down one you. But if you time it too early, sometimes the delayed get up will get you as your string finishes. So they need to find like there needs to be a way where you could do your Oki move, your Oki, and they still have to block as you get up. And they can't down one to take their turn back like in between your string or at the end of your string. I don't think it's as much at the in between anymore. I think that was before the patch, but now it's usually at the end of your string. Like you don't even have enough time to block their down one. They just punish the end of your string when you go for the Oki. So I'm wondering if they're going to be able to fix something or do something about that, or if they just want it that way. Because again, it goes back to I don't know exactly what NRS wants, like how they want their game to play. I don't know if they're just kind of throwing it out there and seeing what works, or if like they have like an idea. Like a good example again is like the jump ins. There are jump kicks, like how they're hard to anti-air. I don't know, like, do they want more jumping? Is that what they're kind of going for? I don't quite understand like what they're trying to do. Um, so that's just kind of my take on it. But what would you say about that? Like, do you think? I guess this is kind of a loaded question. So, um, what direction would you prefer the game to head in? I guess that's the better way of putting it. Because I don't want you to be like, okay, well, I think NRS is doing this. Because again, we don't know. So yeah, what would you say about that? Like the direction?
That is a great question. Which way would I like to see the game heading? Um, I definitely don't want to get throw looped by Gearus or any character for that matter. I feel like it's so inconsistent with the way throws have like different knockback things. I don't think any character should really have like throw loops.
Okay.
Um, I think as like a whole though, I think right now characters like Cetrion and like anyone with control of the stage who can keep you out while you have a life lead is really strong. So like Noob, Cetrion, Liu Kang to an extent with the fireballs. Uh, I think those characters aren't necessarily like super healthy for the game because getting in against them just feels impossible.
Yeah.
Uh, I would definitely like to see at least with like some characters, because it's not a problem for others. But like faster forward dash speed, uh, like maybe for I don't know, Noob is an example because his
Yeah.
forward dash is pretty trash. But like as a whole, I think the game. Let me say, uh, the game right now is like relatively healthy. I think, with the exception, well, with the exception of like most of the top tiers, I think it's in a relatively healthy spot. I do like that they changed and put customs in. I was very skeptical when they announced that. I was like, "Oh, customs! How are you going to implement that in tournament? How are you going to implement that in combat league?" But I think it's turned out uh, for the better. I like the diversity it brings
Yeah.
uh, with like character options, but
I
I
just
don't
want
know.
to
I
throw
think
that out there really quick, by the way. A lot of people said that a character or characters would have one specific loadout, and that was not true for a lot of characters. Just throwing that out there. But anyway, continue.
yeah, I think you're definitely right on that. There is a lot of character diversity, but at the same time, like certain characters, like Kollector specifically, I feel like you have his old tournament variation, you have spare change with the vials, and then the only other one I think worth taking is the one with the suction and the command crab.
Okay. So you would say he's more limited or
I think he he has better options now. He's like definitely a stronger character,
yeah.
but I think the way you can build him is more limited.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think because I actually like that you make that point because even though I did say that there are characters that have more options, like I think Noob's a good example. I've been seeing multiple um different loadouts for Noob or different play styles, I guess. Um, Same thing with Katana. I've been seeing different play styles with Katana. Cabal, same thing. I would say that that's not particularly true with some characters like Cetrion, even though Cetrion, I like to use Cetrion as a good example because Cetrion has Geyser, which is really good, but then, you want, what is it, Tornado, um, Teleport, and I'm missing the last one. Is
The
it the
earthquake,
Ground Pound?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, those three, right? Those are they're just better than Geyser, even though like you would like to have Geyser and Geyser extends combos, but the other three are just clearly better options to take. And so like Cetrion in a way is limited because like why would you choose anything more than those three options? It's kind of the same with Sonya, I've noticed too, because they didn't give her any uh martial art moves or like any like combat moves. Like they gave her all ring stuff, like drone stuff. So like you just find yourself using the cancels, because there's nothing that's going to be better than the cancels. So I do think some characters are limited, but what I was hearing is like the character is always going to have one specific optimal loadout. Like every character is going to be like that, and it definitely didn't turn out that way, and that is something that I'm proud of because when it comes down to it, NRS sometimes they're not going to get everything right on every character, which is another thing that I don't think a lot of people talk about. But um, yeah. Anyway, sorry, I was kind of on a soapbox there, but let's talk some more about podcast for Joker with Justice. Oh gosh. Joker's still up there though, isn't he?
He's definitely like top three for sure.
Yeah, he's still up there. He gets zoned out though. Well, except for the flying one, like the one with the upgraded Joker. That's what we call it now.
It's the like the super jump, whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I
I just
think
call them all upgraded, but
yeah. No, I think Joker, his movement is crazy. Like even if you are getting zoned out, you can dash once and get like a quarter of the screen. Like his forward dash is super fast, and his back dash. Like trying to pin that character down is so hard.
yeah, yeah. He's definitely I mean, even when I zone him, it seems like it doesn't take him long to get in. As long as the player's patient, It's usually when the player's not patient, I can zone them out. Um, which doesn't surprise me, honestly. That's generally how it goes. But so let me check on the time a little bit. Wow, it looks like we've almost hit an hour. It's supposed to be a little bit shorter, but that's okay. Um, did you have anything else to kind of say? Like, what would you recommend to a someone who wants to learn Collector or someone who is interested in Collector, I guess? What was
Hey,
the first
baby,
thing?
all you gotta do, dash up command grab. Easy game. 10 frame mid command grab. That's all you need, brother.
Okay, okay.
No, but seriously, I think like standing for use like all your tools. Collector has a lot of very strong tools. Standing for is like one of the. It's definitely like the biggest, best disjointed hitbox in the game. So definitely abuse that. Don't be afraid to mix in back forward two, like the mid chain special. Don't be afraid to mix that in off standing four and on the end of like forward 1-2. Uh, I would definitely stay away from the forward 1-2 mix ups on Collector. I think it's really bad. The risk reward is just garbage. Um, yeah.
Okay. And it looks like his best poke. Oh, uh-oh.
Oh yeah, on Collector, abuse down four. That move is
Down
bro. You
four.
can
Okay.
just down four backdash.
Oh wow, and it's plus 20. So it's like Katana's down four. It's actually
Yeah,
better.
ability plus on hit. It's like -4 on block. Super good poke. Abuse that trash.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That allows you what dash up command grab too, because plus 20 will allow you to dash up and do whatever you want pretty much. You could either do dash up command grab or dash up string because you have plenty of time to jail, if I
Mm-hmm.
remember correctly. Because Katana she has a similar thing where you can down four or do her back two or back one or go up for a grab, but you have a command grab, so wow. And people sleep, yeah, people really do sleep on this character. I mean that alone is good. Like having a strike throw mix up off of a poke is like really strong because you can't even break the 13% throw.
Yeah.
Or not break it, sorry. Tech it.
Yep.
Apologize. That's okay.
Technical. It's
That's crazy.
also like a really good reversal option. So if you're getting like just holding strings on your block and then you just do reversal command grab, like making them guess after they do a string is so strong. So I definitely recommend reversal command throw too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is a good option. That way you get people to stop just kind of blocking all your offense too. Because sometimes I've noticed that in this game, some characters that don't have other ways to open your opponent up, you get in this weird situation where you have to make a space out, or you have to like space them out, so then they'll whiff a button, or go for a throw. And in this particular case, collectors throws are again they're untechable, so your opponent's gonna actually want to try to press, and then you can kind of go for a string and get a combo. So that's crazy. It seems like he has a good down two also.
Yeah, his
Or is it
down two is very very good too.
so that's a good anti-air. A good universal anti-air. Does he have a good
Yeah.
standing anti or like stand one or
His his stand one is good if they're like kind of further out and you're trying to like reach at them. I
okay.
guess is the best way to explain it. Standing two though, like the lantern flash, that's actually like really good, especially if you have the suction custom move, like the armor break launcher, because you can do standing two suction and then like do a combo. And you could do standing two bola, but on certain characters, the bola would just whiff if you anti-aired too late. But no, jumping against collector is death. Just like jumping against noob, like don't do that trash, dude. Can't jump against those characters.
Is that one reason you picked them?
Yeah, that's another reason why I pick like noob collector, Devora, like all of them have insane anti-airs.
Yeah, so you don't have to deal with 50-50 MK11 jump in.
Yes, sir.
That's what I call it. Okay, okay. Wow, I learned a lot about Collector today. Um, I ask everyone this question. This is kind of my last big one. So we always choose characters. Well, when we first start playing a fighting game, whether it be MKX, MK9, Justice 2, we always have a character that we first play and we fall in love with, but then we're just like, this character is not working. Sometimes we go to higher tiers, or sometimes we go to a different tier. In this particular case, I'm actually going to do a little switcheroo, and I'm going to ask you instead of, since you play characters that aren't necessarily like top tier, have you ever played a character that was top tier? Or have you ever wanted to play a character? Sorry, have you ever wanted to play a character that was top tier, in MK11, and it just wasn't working for you?
Um, I've picked up Joker a little bit. I play him now and then. I picked up Lou. I picked up Gearus, like when the game first came out. I've definitely picked up like super top tier characters. I just don't play them because I think it's kind of boring. Uh, and I honestly feel like my play style lends better to like the spacing characters like Noob and Kollector. Um, I think that a lot of people can just pick up top tiers and like do well, play well, because they're like very strong characters. And if you have a fundamental understanding of the game, that's all you really need. Just take the good tools and run. You know.
Okay. So would you say, because I'm, getting more into the competitive scene myself, and I've played Katana and Melina for the last few months, and a lot of people have been telling me, you know, oh, well, you should pick up this character. This character has more options, blah, 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 all that stuff. Would you say in this game, would it make more sense to pick up a third character that is top tier or higher on the tier list? Or should you stick with the characters that you've been playing for? I mean, I put like probably like 600 hours into Katana, man. Like, if not more, So for me to go over to a completely new character, learn their footsie tools, learn how to deal with certain situations and certain matchups, it would just be a completely different experience, and it would take me another 600 or something hours. Like, I would not be able to pick up the character immediately and have the same fundamentals as I do with Katana. Because at least right now with Katana, it's very easy for me to change my playstyle. Like, quite recently, I've been not doing the back two string completely, and I can still play Katana completely fine. So I just feel like with other characters, I wouldn't be able to do that. So what would you say? Would you say you should just bite the bullet and like play a new character, or would you say, hey, no, this is MK11. Every character can win if you have the good enough fundamentals. Just stick with your character. Like, which one would you say? Or do you have maybe even a combination of that? Like, what would you?
I would say at the end of the day, it's your choice on like how you want to play the game. Personally, I love the diversity in this game. I love like all the different characters. I can play like half the cast at like a decent level. Uh, I think it's I think learning different characters definitely helps you increase like your matchup specific knowledge, like knowing what they can get away with, uh, knowing where you can like poke and backdash, just little nuances of different characters. As far as like if you want to try to like cover different matchups, like Katana's weaker matchups by picking up other characters, it's definitely not a bad idea. But like at the end of the day, yeah, just do whatever you want to do. Uh, yeah.
Okay, okay, that sounds good. I mean, something I've always liked about MK11 is that it doesn't feel like, okay, so when I lose playing, Katana or Melina, as much as I want to blame my character, I don't think that's the problem. Like I just feel like in MK11 specifically, like unless you're playing like Baraka against Cetrion, like that's a completely different story. Like you can win that matchup, but come on, man, like come on. Like that's clearly you're gonna have some. It's not gonna be as easy as maybe playing Katana versus Cetrion or Cabal versus Cetrion, even though those aren't as favorable. Well, now with customs, that's not necessarily true, but you get my point. Like it's that's clearly going to be better than Baraka versus Cetrion. But I don't. I think most players they probably wouldn't main Baraka if they're trying to play competitively anyway. Um, so that is nice to hear that hey, you can still play your character, or maybe pick up a pocket character or something to deal with a specific bad matchup. Because I hear all types of all types of advice on that thing. That's kind of I think that's the most um, controversial topic I would say that I hear.
Really?
Yeah, I would say that 100%. Like I hear a lot of players say, "Oh, well, you could win like MK11's a game you can just win with your character if you have the fundamentals down." Then I hear other players saying, "Oh, well, um, and again, no one will be mentioned. I'm just saying what I've heard. They say, oh, well, you should pick up this character because clearly the character you're doing is not working. But then, there might be fundamentals that I'm doing that aren't good. Like maybe I'm not teching throws well, or maybe I'm doing the whole back two string when I shouldn't be doing it in the neutral because people can jump out of it and punish it. Um, but yeah, they'll say that. They'll be like, "Oh, well, you should play a top tier character. Like that's why you're struggling is because um you you're playing a character that doesn't do as well." Like a good example is actually it's funny when I was playing you in the tournament against Noob, I found out that when Noob does his shadow slide, and this is tech, but you'll just have to know about it, unfortunately. But when Noob does his shadow slide, if he does forward two, forward two is 10 frames, right? So normally Noob is -8, and he's able to steal his turn back against Katana because Katana's back two is too slow. Well, the thing that I was forgetting is that Katana has a forward two that's 14 frames. It's not the safest string in the world. There's a kind of a gimmick behind it, but it can catch Noob trying to do a forward two to steal his turn back. So that's a perfect example of, oh, well, I could play a top tier character and I could have dealt with Noob a different way. But I didn't even look at my own character and be like, oh, I do have a move that can counter someone trying to take their turn back um, off of something that's -8. Plus, Katana also she has her down four, so I can walk up and down for you because forward two is a high. So I can get 20 frames of advantage after Noob does his forward two, after he's -8 from the slide because technically it's not Noob's turn, right? But
Yeah.
see, that's an example of like, when someone might tell you, hey, just pick up this new character, but maybe your character does have options you just haven't labbed yet, because that's just how MK11 is. That's why we love MK11, right? Like compared to MKX and compared to well, MKX is a little different. We don't talk about MKX, but MK9 and Injustice 2, like those games there were characters that's just like, nah, dude, you're not, there's no way. Like you're never gonna top with that character. But then we have tournaments, online tournaments, people topping with Scarlet, Melina, like all types of weird, you wouldn't expect because they just seem so bottom tier to you. So that's nice to hear, 100%. Um, yeah, so that's just
Yeah.
nice to hear. But did you have anything else that you wanted to say about Collector or Noob? I mean, my questions are pretty much done. I think we had a really good discussion. A lot of people showed up, had a great time. Um, but did you have anything else that maybe you had to say, or maybe anything that you would say about the meta that you do or you don't like?
Uh, I think I did an okay job at covering like how I felt on the meta a little
Okay,
earlier. I will say like pick up Noob, dude. Pick up Collector. They're
okay,
a blast.
okay.
Uh, and that's just like for everyone watching too, not just you specifically, but like yeah, try them out, dude. Try it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I again I don't know, well now I do because of the podcast. But before I didn't know anything, like those are the only two big things I knew about Collector. For sure I'm gonna at least lab him because he seems really interesting. Like just what you showed me, like he's got a good anti-air. I love anti-airs. He's got a good grab. I love grabs. That's why I played Molina. So I'm definitely gonna check out Collector and Noob. I've already been looking into him. So that's definitely going to be another one on my book. So that sounds awesome, man. Um, Thank you again, and I definitely want to have you on again, even if it's just to talk about the meta or something, because I had a great time and I learned a lot about both noob and collector. So
Yeah, thanks for having me. I also had a blast. I think it was really fun getting to talk about like the state of the game and like a bunch of these different characters. So yeah, anytime, man.
oh, I know we're supposed to end the podcast here, but I did have one more question for you because I totally forgot about it, and it's about
Yeah,
noob.
shoot, partner.
All right,
Go
so
ahead.
what is your favorite loadout for noob? Because I've seen a lot. I've seen Rio rock a different loadout where he does like the slide that doesn't enhance, and I've also seen some people use like is it sickle snag?
Yeah, that one's a common one too.
Yeah. So what you said the one with the low slide, the enhanced low slide. That's your favorite, right? If I
Yeah,
remember.
I use the one with I think Ghost Ball. It's the fast, high projectile,
Okay.
uh, amped low slide, and EX teleport. That's my favorite one.
Okay. S- So you don't do the snag one that enhances combos of her. Your EX teleport is the enhancing combo one.
Yeah, I prefer EX teleport a lot more because uh, the only real combo starter you have when you have sickle strike is or sickle snag is you only get damage when you hit them with forward 2-2. And you get damage that way, and it's pretty good damage. But like uh, with my variation, even if you don't run it, if you hit them with forward 2-2, you can do forward 2-2-1, and then low slide amp, and that's like 25%.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I definitely would prefer amp telly to sickle snag because when you take amp telly and you hit them with 113, you're doing 40%
Oh
on a
wow.
1 bar B and B.
Oh wow.
That's yeah. He his damage is absolutely unreal. So, yeah, that's why I take him. Just because you get the big damage with the amp telly, and you get the neutral control, and the Pokemon game with slide, and you have just like the full screen game with the fireball.
Okay. Okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you for that because I've been unsure myself, and I'm sure there's other players that have also been unsure with how they want to play noob. Um, and I don't know too much about collectors, so I'm not even gonna get into that yet. But hopefully we'll be able to have you on again, and maybe by then I'll have maybe some collector experience, or um, I'll at least know a little bit more about collectors, so we can definitely talk some more about his some of his custom moves. But
Absolutely, man. Hit me up.
yeah, for sure. And thank you again for stopping by for this podcast. I think this was definitely productive, and I learned a lot about both collector and noob, and a lot about your take on the meta. So
Thanks for having me.